Good morning, Belen. I'm Andres Fernando.
And I'm Lucas Montezioca. Welcome to this edition of WBLN News for Thursday, April 11, 2019.
Now that next year's president and vice president have been inducted, what plans do they have now? Carlos Bailey has more on the story.
Over the years, Belen Jesuit has provided presidents and vice presidents of student council. The junior class every year provides the nominees for these positions. Any junior is able to run for position in office. After 18 candidates ran for office campaign throughout the grade, only 8 candidates were left for the positions. The 8 were divided into 4 presidential candidates and 4 vice presidential candidates. The 4 presidential candidates were Alberto Romero, Michael Fresco, Mario Osorio, and Thomas Cuesta. The 4 vice presidential candidates were Victor Rivera, Jean-Luc Bobian, Rafael Breu, and Gabriel Bao. These candidates have put in the time and work to campaign for these positions, in which one president and vice president will run the student body. Most of these candidates have come to school as early as 4 a.m. in the morning. The runoff election for president was between Alberto Romero and Michael Fresco. The overall winners were for President Alberto Romero and for Vice President Gabriel Bao.
With President Alberto Romero, and your first question will be, how does it feel to be elected president?
It feels great. All the support I got throughout the campaign week was honestly amazing. Deep down, I'm very grateful to everybody who ran against me, everybody who helped me out in my campaign. I learned a lot this week, and I'm very excited to use these lessons that I've learned and make next year a better year.
What positive changes do you feel need to be brought to the school and why?
I think that the communication between student council and the student body is the most important part. If we actually get to know what the students want from every grade level, 6th all the way to the graduating senior class, we'll actually be able to perform a better job than the student council has ever before.
What are you looking forward to in office with Vice President Gabriel Bao?
Well, honestly, I'm very happy to be working with Raval. He's a great kid, he works a lot, and overall, I think that we're going to make a great team to make next year the best year that any of us have ever had.
Thank you, Alberto. With Vice President Gabriel Bao, and your first question will be, how does it feel to be elected Vice President?
I'm extremely grateful. I'm glad that the people of Belen thought I'd make a good representative for them, and I can't wait to get to work.
What changes do you feel need to be brought to the school and why?
As I said during my campaign speech, I think I'd like to see more activities. I'd like to see more bonding between the students. Some students have problems with each other, and I'd like to see that kind of mended and more brotherhood between us.
How does it feel to work with President Alberto Romero?
He's great. Honestly, me and him, we see eye to eye on almost everything. We've already started discussing possible changes, making lists, and I think we're going to do great, honestly, me and him.
Thank you.
Overall, the president and vice president plan to improve senior sections, Postmates for lunch, and much more. There's also a plan to communicate with fellow classmates and create a better bond. Their goal is to make an impact that the school has never seen.
Thank you, Carlos. Most of us don't really take the time to pay attention to the details, all the details in the Chapel of Our Lady. We now move on to Chris Alvarez, who gives us an inside look with Deacon George Prieto.
Our school's chapel was recently given some new additions. Now, to give us some more insight on the recently renovated Chapel of Our Lady is Deacon Jorge Prieto.
You know, everything in Belen is important. The classrooms, the labs, sporting fields, all that. But the chapel is a special place. It's a place where we come to pray to the Lord. Like in most totally Catholic schools, it should be the center of our life. If you look at our chapel that was renewed a couple of years ago, it's a wonderful, wonderful space right now where we come together to worship the Lord. Oftentimes, we have, of course, masses every day, twice a day. We also have people that come during the day to pray to the Lord. To me, the chapel is the center of Belen's life. It is the one place that we can be alone with the Lord. It is the one place that we can indeed be ourselves more than any other place, because it is us and the Lord together. The first one, of course, is the altar. It is a place where every day Mass is celebrated. It is the place where the body and blood of Christ come to life for each and every one of us. Also, the tabernacle, of course, is closed right now. But if you look inside, it's a beautifully painted tabernacle where the hosts are actually kept. You often come to chapel and you see the cave. This is similar to the cave of Manresa, where the nation spends so much time writing the spiritual exercises. And my fourth favorite are the relics that we have right here. We oftentimes, as I come to the chapel, we don't realize it, that we have relics here for a number of Jesuit saints. We are blessed by having them because it makes us realize the union that we have with so many Jesuits throughout the world. We have a long history in the church that we as members of the Belen community should be proud of. So our chapel, if you want to put it in very succinct words, It is the one place where we come, we praise the Lord, we help each other, and we remember our history. We know who we are as members, as those that in many, many ways love so much the Society of Jesus.
Thank you, Chris. We move now to Danny Giorgini with the latest on the House's decision on net neutrality.
The House passed a bill on Wednesday to restore net neutrality protections that were repealed by President Trump's Federal Communications Commission more than a year ago. The bill is called Save the Internet Act. It would prohibit Internet service providers from interfering with web traffic. Net neutrality supporters argue that without the rules in an agency like the FCC enforcing them, Internet providers will have the ability to reshape the Internet by favoring content from partners and businesses that pay them. The bill is likely to hit a wall in the Republican-controlled Senate. And on Monday, the White House says Trump strongly opposes the legislation.
Thank you, Danny. Studies are showing that children who live near busy roadways are more likely to have development delays. Frank Garcia has a story.
A new report found children who live near a busy roadway are twice as likely to have developmental delays. That's according to a new study in the journal Environmental Research. Kids who live near major highways score lower on tests of communication skills than those who live farther away. The study looked at more than 5,000 children. Researchers compared their proximity to major highways and estimated each child's exposure to ozone and other pollutants produced by vehicle traffic. Then, scientists tested their motor skills, communication, social functioning, and problem-solving abilities. About 23% of the children failed some of the developmental tests. Researchers say children who live closer to a major highway or freeway have twice the risk of having a communication delay. They also found that exposure to high levels of pollution, especially ozone during pregnancy, is linked to the risk of developmental delay. The study was done in upstate New York, which has relatively low air pollution, and researchers wonder if the effects will be stronger in higher pollution areas like major cities. The study did not show cause and effect, and researchers say more studies are needed.
Congratulations to freshman David Swistak, who won first place and received a perfect score at the Youth Fair piano competition. Belen dads are invited to join Father Willie for the monthly prayer breakfast on Friday, April 12th, hosted by the Agrupación Católica Universitaria and Belen Jesuit. We invite you first to a mass at 7:15, followed by breakfast and a reflection in the Saladrigas Gallery. Mother's Day mini cakes are being sold to raise money for the Belen Youth Missions. Order your cakes by May 7th in the campus store. Today, there will be an NHS meeting from 3:15 to 4 p.m. in the Roca Theater. Fencing Club will meet from 3:15 to 4:15 in the dining hall. Tomorrow, there will be a Model UN meeting from 3:15 to 5 p.m. in room E202.
Here's your weather for today. Today we're going to have clear skies with 87 degrees throughout, and it's going to be getting a little bit chilly throughout the night with 74 degrees and 0% chance of rain. Now, on to this week's weather. It's going to be around the high 80s and with a few percent chances of thunderstorms next week. That's all for your weather. Now on to sports.
Thank you, Nico. The varsity baseball team faced off against Archbishop McCarthy at Marlins Park, where they won 8-0. Christian Arroyo had 2 RBIs on the night, along with Joshua Salandi, Dorian Gonzalez, and Robert Corbello contributing to the team with 1 RBI each. The varsity volleyball team faced off against Ransom last night. They lost 3-1 with Eric Diaz, Daniel Cantons, Herman Suarez, and Cody Aguirre being the top contributors to the sets. The middle school golf team finished in first place at the Dade County Youth Fair at Briar Bay. 6th grader Lorenzo Rodriguez was 2nd place overall. 8th grader Adrian Rodriguez tied for 5th overall, and 7th grader Joseph Munez finished 8th overall. Onto pro sports. The Miami Heat took on the Brooklyn Nets last night in what would be the last game of Dwayne Wade's career. The Heat lost 94-113, with Wade putting up 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a farewell to the league. Last night was a sad night for NBA fans, seeing Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade play their last games in the league. We saw both Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki have players across the league thank them for their contribution to the league. That's all for sports. Now back to Hernando at the desk.
Thank you, Fernando. That's all your news for today. I'm Andres Hernando.
And I'm Lucas Montesioca. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. From everyone here, have a wonderful day.